Hey, welcome, and thank you for being here on this bonus bank holiday that, again, I've entirely forgotten about. So thank you for choosing to join me anyway. And oh, Gabby's just coming online. Gabby requested this evening to do stuff with the spine. Hey, Gabby. So I'm just recounting your request. So it was for spinal flexibility and twists, I believe, which is great. That's kind of what we do a lot of in yoga anyway. So that's what I thought we would set our theme for this evening, which is a wonderful theme. That I love this phrase. I've probably shared it before, but we are as old as our spine is flexible, or we are as young, let's say. We are as young as our spine is flexible. So keeping our spine healthy is a wonderful way to keep youthful and vital. So this evening, welcome, Amy.
Hello.
This evening, we will be moving the spine in all the different ways it likes to move. So that's forwards, forward flexion, backwards, sideways, twisting. And then there's that one that's kind of slightly sideways and slightly twisting. So more like that paravriti, that revolved shape in the body. So we'll cover all of those. Okay, so let's just start seated. Gabby, if you could mute, that'd be great, just for the background noise. Thank you, love.
I didn't see. Yes.
No problem. Okay, so let's just begin by just coming into our bodies, just grounding, centering, just maybe consciously closing the eyes, just shutting out the external world for a moment, for a while, to draw our awareness inwards, to our inner world, to our breath, to our physical sensations. So just notice, what do I feel? What do I feel right now in my body? Maybe inside my body, maybe on the outside of my body. What do I feel? There's no wrong or right here. Just present moment awareness. Maybe you feel tension. Maybe you feel a pain. Maybe you feel the air stimulating the skin. Maybe you feel heat, cool, tiredness, anything. And then let's just really feel that interface between our body and the floor. So really drop your awareness down to the seat of your body, the base of your body. And as acutely as you can, just feel all those points of your body that touch the floor. Maybe it feels like a sharp point in certain areas. Maybe it feels more diffuse and spread in other parts of the body. Just really just occupying that interface between body and floor with all of your awareness just for a moment. And feel that as a solid base. Always come back to how we're meeting the ground, how we're interfacing with the ground, the floor. And let's just bring our awareness to our focus area this evening, the spine. So just try and feel that your spine is sitting as effortlessly as possible. So maybe you just want to lean back ever so slightly, a millimeter, or lean forward and just check, am I in the best place where the spine has to do the least work here? And just really, we're just going to tune into all the parts of the spine, just get a visual, an internal visual. So just drop your awareness again right into the base of your body, to the coccyx, the tailbone, the lowest point of the spine, where it curls inward, pretty much just in the upper part of the buttocks. We're just visualizing it as best we can. Don't worry if you can't get a strong visual. But putting your awareness in this part of the body, the cleft of the buttocks, And above the coccyx, those last few little curled in vertebrae, we've got the sacrum, that beautiful shaped bony plate with few fused vertebrae just above the cleft of the buttocks. And those little dimples in our lower back. And the sacroiliac joints just either side of the sacrum, so that can help give you a geographic location on the body. Just moving our awareness up from the sacrum, just resting our awareness in the lumbar spine. So these are those big vertebrae, the base of the spine, where the spine does that natural curve inwards, in towards the front of our body. Just a gentle inward curve. And track your awareness up the spine. Notice, just sense, feel, perceive where that inward curve starts to become an outward curve. We're moving up towards the mid-back, the part of the spine that naturally kind of pushes out towards the back of the body. And the vertebra gets a little bit smaller and much more intricate. In the thoracic spine, the vertebra connect in with the rib cage. So it's intimately connected to our respiratory system, our breathing. And there's less flexibility in this part of the spine. So as we're moving our awareness, maybe also just breathing into these parts of the spine. And then just move your awareness further up, noticing where that outward curve once again starts to draw inwards. And we have the natural inward curve of the neck spine, supporting the cranium, very, very mobile, free moving. And you can just imagine the cranium, the skull, just kind of resting on the uppermost vertebra of the spine. This incredible piece of architecture around which the rest of our body hangs, really. It all comes off this axis, this central support. And if you haven't already, just start to deepen the breath and start to breathe into the spine. And notice, maybe you noticed as we tracked our awareness up the spine, the parts of your spine that feel tight, that feel constricted. Maybe there's tension. Maybe it's on one side of the spine more than the other in certain parts of the back. So if you notice these constricted areas, just direct your breath to these areas. And just feel as you breathe in, deep breath in, that there's this sense of expansion and opening in the whole spine. The whole spine gets to kind of extend, open with the inhale. And whenever you feel ready, if you close the eyes, just gently blinking them open. You can keep the eyes closed if you prefer. It can be helpful to keep the internal awareness. And we're just going to start to cat-cow the spine seated. So with the hands on the knees, we're going to inhale, rock to the front of the pelvis, draw the shoulders back and look up. And exhale, send that thoracic spine back, chin to the chest. So it's like we're exaggerating the natural curves here, inhaling, overarching in the lower back and the neck. Exhale, overarching in the thoracic spine. Drawing the shoulders back as you inhale and drawing them forward as you exhale. And let this be as slow or as quick as your breath is. Really connect movement and breath. Notice that you're rocking back and forth on the pelvis. This is good. Next time you come back to the center, we're going to start to rotate the spine. So we're moving in all the directions this evening. So we come out to the side, we get that side stretch, and then we come back into the cat, and then we go out to the other side, and then we come forward. So now we're rolling around on the base of the pelvis. But we're not forgetting all these different parts. We're not forgetting the cat-cow of the spine. We're inhaling into the cow as we come forward, exhaling into the cat as we go back. Just adding this lateral movement to the spine. So you're really kind of pushing into the rib cage. Remember, the thoracic spine is literally connected to your rib cage. As you push your rib cage, your right rib cage out to the right, you're kind of stretching the thoracic spine, and the same on the left as you come around the other way and change direction. So gradually freeing the spine with our movement and our breath coordination. And then just coming back to the center. Just take a moment, just stillness again. Like unsticking the spine. Deep breaths, really breathe into the back, breathe into the spine this evening. Give your spine loads of appreciation this evening. Okay, we're going to bring the hands behind us and kind of develop that arch again, the back bend, so fingertips forward, press through the hands, lift the chest. You can take the fingertips backwards if you prefer. So from the side, there's that arch of the spine, overarching again the lower back, and if you wish, you can drop the head back or just keep the chin in for now. Deep breaths, the front of the body, feeling that compression of the spine and the upper back, a little bit in the lower back, and then coming back to upright. So that was the backward flexion, now the forward flexion. Walk the hands forward and feeling the whole of the back stretch here. So the whole of the back of the spine, back edge of the spine is getting an opening, a stretch. Use your breath to facilitate, increase that stretching of the back of the spine. So when we do back bends, we stretch the front of the spine. When we do forward folds, we stretch the back of the spine. When we do side bends, we stretch the side of the spine. So now breathing into the back. And deep breaths when we come into these stretches is hugely important because the intervertebral discs don't have their own blood supply. So we need to breathe deep to send oxygen to these areas, to plump them up, encourage blood flow to the intervertebral disc. So a couple more really big breaths. Feel your intervertebral disc getting plumper with each breath, which makes the spine more long and flexible and juicy. And then slowly walking those hands back in. And take the hands to the side. Inhale, raise the hands. Exhale, left hand comes down, right hand comes over, and we're coming into that side stretch now. So now we're opening the right side of the spine. Keep the chest facing forward, keep the buttocks on the floor, keep grounded through the coccyx, keep the sacrum central more or less, the base of the sacrum central. Breathing to the right side of your spine. And then inhale to come up, right hand comes down as you exhale, inhale to stretch up the left hand, exhale stretching over. So maybe this evening, as much as you can, kind of keep your awareness on your spine, keep that inward awareness, pratyahara, sensory withdrawal from the outer world, focusing on the inner world. What shape is your spine making? The central axis of your body in each of these shapes. Try and visualize what it's doing here. Inhale, come back to the center. Cross your legs the other way, as long as that is appropriate for your body. We're going to do the back and forth again. So bring the hands back. Once again, lean into the hands, arch the spine, feel the front of the spine open and extend. You can imagine the back edge is getting compressed, the intervertebral discs are compressing on the back edge of the spine and opening on the front. Breathe to increase that opening. And then bring yourself back up to vertical, and once again come straight into that forward flexion. Listening to your hips and knees here, rocking the head. Again, what's your spine doing here? The opposite of what we just did. Now, the intervertebral discs along the back edge of the spine are open, being opened, and they're being squeezed on the front, switched. Breathe. Slowly walking the hands back in. Inhale, raise the hands. Interlace fingers, press palms up, drop shoulders down, drop tailbone, draw belly in. Inhale, center, exhale, turn to the left. So we're squeezing, rinsing out the spine like a flannel here. It's not going to be a big move because the thoracic spine is going to stop us. But find that length, feel the palms lifting, the pelvis dropping. On an inhale, return to the center, and on your exhale, take it the other way. Maybe your spine is more open in one way of the twist than the other. You can notice. So now we're doing something different to the spine. We're twisting, getting a real stimulation here. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, release the hands just onto the knees. So we're just going to move with the breath. We're going to inhale. If you need to cross your legs the other way again, because we're on this side a bit longer, then feel free. But really, this is probably your tight side, so it's probably the side that it's best to stay in as long as there's no pain. Okay, so we're going to move with the breath. Inhale at the center. Exhale, take the chin beyond your left knee, keeping the hips on the floor. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, take your chin beyond your right knee. Come back to the center. Pelvis more or less stays on the floor. Try not to lift the opposite buttock. If on one side your buttock really wants to lift, it's probably your tight side. Try to keep disciplined with the pelvis down and just see how far you can go forward with the pelvis. The inhale's bringing you back to the center. So you'll soon become aware if there's a tight side, tighter side. And then next time we come down to the left, we're going to pause. So again, you start, just take the chin over or beyond your left knee or towards it, and then reach the hands out onto the floor. Inhale, lengthen, and if it feels okay, start to drop the head. So we're in a hybrid stretch here. So when we come to hybrid stretches for the spine, we have to be really careful. If we've got injuries, issues, we need to be really careful, check that it feels okay. So we're in a forward fold and a side stretch here. So if it feels at all weird, not good, just skip this one. Maybe just do the forward fold again. Couple more breaths, buttocks on the floor. Notice where you feel the stretch. Kind of imagine what the spine's doing, forward and to the side. Slowly walk the hands back towards the knee, still facing the knee till you're all the way up, and then untwist back to the center. Okay, inhale, center, exhale, take the chin beyond the right knee. Start to walk the hands out. So hybrid stretch, it's a forward fold, it's a side stretch, and it's almost a bit of a twist as well. It's like just lots of different things going on. Press through the hands to stretch the opposite buttock back to the floor so you really get that length. And try and imagine what your spine's doing. The left side is slightly opening, the back is slightly opening. It's almost slightly being twisted as well, which you feel when you come back out. Couple more breaths. Buttocks on the floor. Okay, so come out carefully, walk back with the chin still above the thigh, the right thigh, knee, all the way up, and then it's like an untwist to come back to the center. Okay. And then just one more. Inhale, take the hands up. Exhale, right hand onto left knee, left hand behind you, look over the left shoulder. So again, it's that vertical spine, that wringing it out like a flannel, with a little bit more freedom of movement this time. And just breathe as deeply as you can. Nourish the spine with deep breaths. Super important for the spine. And exhale, unwind. Feel the spine unwind back to its neutral shape. Inhale, take the hands up, stretch through the spine. Exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Feel that twist. And breathe deep into your spine, into your intervertebral discs. And then exhale, unwind back to the center. When you're ready, we'll come on to hands and knees. So just find your way onto hands and knees. And let's cat-cow the spine again. So same as before, initiating with the pelvis, feeling the emphasis of the spinal arches into the cow, and then the same in the cat, we overarch the thoracic spine. We inhale, we overarch the lumbar spine and the cervical spine as we look up. Exhale, push the thoracic spine to the ceiling. So wave of motion, wave of movement up your spine, from the coccyx to the cranium. Come back to a neutral spine and just really feel the spine just settle back into its neutral curves. Check you're not looking up or dropping the head. Just feel that we're in that neutrality here and we're not overarching, underarching, and moving the head out of alignment. From here, we'll come into Anahatasana. Keep the hips above the knees, walk the hands forward. This is kind of like a back bend in a way. We're dropping the chest towards the floor, so there's that slight arch in the back. But what's really lovely about this posture for the back is that gravity kind of opens the space around the lumbar spine, the sacrum. So just feel that kind of space between the lumbar vertebrae increasing here with gravity. Breathe into the lower back. We often focus on the chest opening part of this posture, but focus on the lower back here, the spine. Deep breath. And then press through the hands, walk the hands back in. We're going to come into another twist. So with the left hand underneath the left shoulder, inhale, stretch the right hand up and just pause for a breath or two, really pressing through the left hand, reaching through the right. Try not to let the hips swing out to the right, keep them central. On your next exhale, feed the right hand underneath the left, palm up, bring the side of the head down to the floor or use a block if you need. So we're in a twist here. And then you can keep the left hand where it is, or inhale, reach up and around for your right hip, or just rest the hand on the lower back and draw that left shoulder back. This gets more into the thoracic, the upper spine that needs that extra opening often. Again, there's that gravity-assisted opening of the lumbar spine here, so just be aware of that as you breathe into both the twist and the lower back sacral opening. Keep drawing that left shoulder back. If you wrap the arm, really squeeze it, twist in the thoracic spine. On an inhale, raise the left hand if it's wrapped. Exhale, press down. Everybody come back through. And as you inhale, raise that right hand back into that twist. And then exhale, lower from there. Great. And just find that neutral spine. Again, if you want to do a cat-cow between sides, do. But make sure you come back to neutral and really feel it. We want to get used to what the neutral spine feels like. Same on the other side, lean into the right hand, inhale, stretch up through the left. We're going to pause for a breath or so. Watch the hips don't swing out to the left. Really ground through the right hand, reach through the left. On an exhale, feed it through, the palm facing up all the way through. Side of the head comes down to the floor. And again, keep the right hand where it is, or inhale, raise it, exhale, bring it onto the lower back, hand onto the lower back, or reach for the left hip. Either way, draw the right shoulder back and feel what this does to the thoracic spine, the space behind the heart, I often call the thoracic spine, behind the shoulder blades. Breathing deep, breathing into your lumbar, sacral area. And then inhale, raise the right hand if it's wrapped, bring it down. Everybody press through the right hand. And again, inhale, raise that left hand, reach and stretch. And then exhale, lower it down. Return to neutral spine. And let's just take a child's pose. Lovely traction for the spine. Keep the knees together, drop the hips all the way back onto the heels or as far as they'll go. And just take full balasana, bring the hands back to the feet, palms up, drop the head. So just the whole of the back of the spine is getting a lovely opening here. The front of the spine slightly compressed. So breathe into the back body. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back up to tabletop, hands slightly in front of the shoulders, tuck the toes, come to downward dog. So downward dog is an important part of a class like this because it's eventually, when the body opens, it's the spine in a neutral position. So it's like a neutral posture to keep coming back to. So we move the spine in all its different ways, but then come back to neutral foundational postures like mountain pose, downward dog. So if you're quite tight in the hamstrings and low back, it's going to not quite be, it's going to be more rounded shape, but trust that over time this posture becomes more and more neutralizing for the spine. If you're quite open, really feel that we're back in that neutral spine position. Check the head's in the right position so that the neck spine, cervical spine is neutral. Just the head should be somewhere between the upper arms. Check you're not overarching either way in the lower back. One more deep breath. At the end of the exhale, look forward, walk or step feet forwards to underneath the hips, somewhere in a forward flexion. So bend the knees as much as you need here, hold the opposite elbows or just dangle the arms. But really try to be strong in the legs as pillars of support so that we can just let go in the upper body. We can feel supported at our core. We can draw the lower belly up to the spine and lift on the pelvic floor. But just gently sway the torso maybe forwards and backwards like a ragdoll, side to side. And just be floppy and long. So again, gravity is really helping us open up the spine here. Space between the vertebrae, opening up with gravity. So a couple more breaths, giving ourselves enough time here. And then bring the hands to the hips, take a nice bend in the legs, push up through the legs with the spine, more or less neutral, come up to stand. So we'll do our sun salutations and we'll just keep that internal awareness, notice what's your spine doing. So start in Tadasana. This is another foundational pose. We want the spine to be neutral here. So this is a great one to look at our posture. Some of us have this kind of lordosis where we have the anterior tilt of the pelvis. Like if the pelvic bowl was in its neutral position and we filled it with water, no water would spill. When it's in anterior tilt, the front edge tilts down, overarching the lower back, and the water would fall out to the front. When we're in posterior tilt, the back edge of the pelvis is down and the water would spill out to the back. So we just, as best we can, try to feel our hip bones and feel that the pelvic bowl is as much as we can be aware of without having a mirror flat, the water wouldn't spill. So for most of us, it means dropping the towel over a little bit, drawing in the lower belly, so we don't overarch the lower back. Check this neck spine feels nice and long, ever so slightly drawing the chin in, but without looking down. And then from here, we inhale, raise the hands, ever so slight back bend. Exhale, forward flexion, stretching the back of the spine. Inhale, we look up, slight back bend. Exhale, plant the hands back to another neutral shape, which is the plank or tabletop. Pause for an in-breath. Exhale, lower, your choice, feet on or off the floor. And then inhale into your back bend as shallow or deep as you wish. And feel the back edge of the spine compressing, and then exhale back into downward dog. Again, feeling this as moving towards neutral in the spine, depending how it is for your body. Slow, deep breaths. Feel in this posture where the spine feels restricted and tight. Breathe into those areas. At the end of an exhale, look forward, walk, step, jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, it's a little bit of a back bend, maybe hands on the shins. Exhale, drop the head, it's a forward fold. Inhale, raise the hands, maybe a slight back bend, fingertips back. Exhale, back to our neutral spine. 2 more. Inhale, take it up, slight back bend. Exhale, take it forward, forward fold. Inhale, look up, back bend. Exhale, neutral spine, plank or tabletop. Inhale, find the neutrality. Exhale, lower, keep it neutral as you lower if the knees are off the floor. Inhale, find your back bend, chest forward. Exhale, downward dog. Use the downward dog to find the asymmetries in the back. Find the areas, the bands of tightness, the bands of resistance, the areas of resistance. Open them from the inside with your breath. At the end of your next exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump the feet to the hands. Inhale, find that back bend quality. Exhale, drop the head, open the back of the spine. Inhale, raise the hands, open the front of the spine slightly, and exhale back to neutral. 1 more from neutral. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, lower. Neutral if the knees are off the floor, back bend if they're on the floor. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, neutral or moving towards neutral. And again, even up the sides of your body with your breath, your awareness, probing the back, the spine with your breath and your awareness. And at the end of your exhale, look forward, walk, step, jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands up, slight back bend. Exhale, neutral, mountain pose. And pause for a moment, just connect to your breath. Okay, and we'll do some standing postures that, again, put the spine through its paces. So we'll begin with the triangle and we'll just put in a little variation here. So turn not too wide between the feet, turn left foot in, right foot all the way out, hips don't move. Inhale, reach and exhale, exhale, reach to the right, bring the right hand down to meet the right leg or foot and the left hand straight up. So we want the chest to face forward. We want to be sideways on, so we're getting a big kind of side opener here. Feel how the right side of the body's compressed, so the right spine's compressed and the left side of the spine's a bit more open here. See if you can balance a little bit by decompressing the right side a little bit. So it's like, imagine somebody was pressing the top of your head with a finger and you want to push the top of your head into their finger. The whole of the torso extends, including the right side. So the last 2 or 3 breaths, reach the left hand forward so the upper arm is close to the ear and the palms facing down. So we get this long flank stretch, side stretch. Inhale, come up, leading with your left hand. Swap sides. So right foot turns in, left foot turns out, hips forward. Inhale, extend. Exhale, slide to the left with the torso, bring the left hand down, reach the right hand up. Try not to close the chest to the floor. Try to keep drawing that right shoulder back so that we really get this opening in the right side body. Again, imagine I was coming up and I was going to press my finger into the crown of your head and you want to press against that. See if you can kind of find that sense of extension and feel the left side decompressing slightly here. And then again, for the last 2 or 3 breaths, bring the upper right arm close to the ear, palm facing the floor, and reach through those fingertips. Really stretching out. Feel that right side of the spine getting a good stretch here. And then inhale, coming up, leading with the right hands. we're going to come into the twisted triangle, Parivriti Trikonasana. So this time we turn the left foot in, we take the right, turn the right foot all the way out. So the right foot's facing forward to the front of your mat and your hips are going to follow. If you know you've got tight hamstrings, this is a good time to get a block and have it inside your right foot. Okay, this is quite a complex posture that we don't do that often. So with the hips facing forward, keep your right hand on your hip and raise the left hand. Get long through the left side. As you exhale, reach forward through that left fingertip as you come forward, as if you're trying to touch something in front of you. And then we bring the left hand down to possibly the floor or onto your block. On the big toe side of the right foot. If you're more open, you could maybe take the hand onto the right foot or even to the floor on the little toe side of the right foot. Then we squeeze the inner thighs together and we start to twist the spine from the navel towards the right, drawing that right shoulder back. And if it feels okay, raising the right hand and looking up. So again, we want to keep drawing the right shoulder back so the chest is open, but this time the chest is open to the other side. If it gets too much, come out. Really feel what the spine's doing here. A deep twist for the spine. And then to come out, look to the floor, bring the right hand back down, and then inhale, come up, pressing through that right leg to come all the way up. And we'll pivot on the feet and go to the other side. So again, I like to start with the hands on the hips. And make sure your block's handy. If you need it, inside the left foot. Keep the left hand on the hip. So your right toes in front of your right heel. Stretch up through the right side. Inhale. Exhale. Come forward. Reach. Get long. Then bring the hand down to your block or the floor. Choose your hand position. Squeeze the inner thighs together. So we try to keep the legs stable. And we just start to twist in the upper body. Twisting towards the left, towards the front leg. Drawing that left shoulder back. And maybe raising the hand. Really super stable in the legs and the feet. Breathe as deeply as you can, even in this very compressed position. And then to come out, look down, lower the left hand to the hip, bend the left leg, inhale, come up to the center. Well done. Okay, so we're going to widen the feet now. I'm going to come back into a side stretch. So nice wide stance, turn left foot in, right foot out, hips forward, same as normal triangle. Inhale, extend through the fingertips, exhale, just for a moment, warrior two. So we bend that right leg, the knee is above the ankle, left toes are slightly in front of left heel, looking forward over the right middle finger. So the spine should be more or less neutral here. Many of us overarch the lower back in this posture as best you can, drop the tailbone. Then the side stretch, right elbow to right thigh, left upper arm comes up and over, palm faces the floor, but there's also a twist. So this is one of those hybrids. We're stretching the left side of the spine, but we're rotating the body to turn the chest up towards the ceiling and look up to that top hand. So it's a revolving of the torso here. Some of you might be able to get right fingertips to the floor or hands to the floor behind the ankle. Optional. Feel that dynamic stretch out through the left fingertips and turn as much of the torso to the ceiling as possible. On your next inhale, coming out, straightening that right leg. Other side, right foot turns in, left foot out, hips don't move. Inhale, extend. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Bend that left knee above or behind ankle. Look forward over the left fingertips. Ground through the little toe edge of the back foot. Try to neutralize the spine as best you can. And then Parsvakonasana, elbow to thigh or hand to the floor. But first of all, find the side stretch, upper arm close to the ear, reach through the fingertips, and then try to rotate the chest. Find the hybrid spine movement here. Looking up towards your top palm, moving the chest towards the ceiling. Breathe deep. And then inhale, come up, straighten that left leg. You need to bring the feet together and do for a moment, but we're going to stay wide otherwise, and then come back to wide. We're going to come into the forward fold, but with twisted variations today. If you know you're going to need a block, have your block in front of you. Hands on the hips. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, look up, slight back bend here. Exhale, forward fold. We've got that forward flexion. Drop the head, hands to the floor or block. Just pause here. Feel the back of the spine opening a little bit and feel gravity assisting this lengthening of the spine. Strong legs. And then we're going to turn this into a twist. So straighten the arms. Bring your right hand forward so it's underneath your head, your face. And if you can't reach the floor here, use a block. And take the left hand onto the lower back. So we're going to do this in 2 stages. The first stage, we're going to try to keep the lower back flat. So try not to drop that right hip. Almost push up through the right hip. Press through the right hand. Roll the left shoulder back. Just turn to the left. Not going to be much of a movement, but if we try to just focus on keeping the lower back flat, then we can get into the thoracic spine. Don't even bother raising the left hand at this stage because there's not going to be enough movement for it to feel good, comfortable. And then from here, we're going to allow the left hip to drop and we'll feel that twist move more into the lower back and then we can more comfortably raise the left arm. And now we want to stack left shoulder above right shoulder. We're still twisting in the upper back, but just not so much. Now the emphasis moves into the lower back because that's the more mobile part of the spine. But it's all good. Deep breaths. And then exhale, release the left hand. Swap the position there. So now your left hand is underneath the face. So try to be disciplined here. Just notice your left hip. It's going to want to drop. Put your right hand on your lower back. Try to keep, it's almost like I'm pushing up and away through my left hip to counter its desire to drop as I draw my right shoulder back and look to the right. And it's going to feel like not much is happening. You're going to feel like you're not twisting very much, but what we're doing is really focusing on thoracic spine. Keep the hand on the back, don't raise the shoulder. Breathe into the space behind the heart. And then allow that left hip to do what it wants to do. Allow the twist to deepen. Raise the right hand. Look up to the top hand. Press down through left hand. Reach through right. And exhale. Release. Bring the hands to the hips. And on an inhale, come up. So we are going to come forward again. One more time. So again, if you just need to bring the feet together for a moment, if there's strain on the outer edges of the ankles or anything, then do. Otherwise, just take a moment and then we're going to do one more variation. So when you're ready, hands back on the hips. Inhale, roll those shoulders back. Feel the back bend here. Exhale, forward fold. When we get to our deepest fold, take the hands to the floor, but walk over towards the left foot with both hands. So we're going to hold the left foot with both hands. So hold the ankle with both hands and kind of draw the torso towards that left shin. So it's one of those hybrids. It's a slight side stretch for the spine and forward fold. And then from here, we're going to change it. We're going to take hold of the outside of the left ankle with the right hand or leg. You might not be anywhere near the ankle, that's fine. And we're going to reach the left hand forward on the fingertips directly in front of the left shoulder. And we're going to pull on the outside of the left ankle or leg and twist. So we're kind of looking towards the left. Some of you may be even looking up underneath your left armpit. So the left fingertips moving forward. If you're quite open, your right elbow will be quite bent here. And gently untwist. Come back to the center. Stay low and just start to walk your hands over towards the right foot. Take hold of the right leg or ankle with the hands and pull you're gently pulling yourself towards, pulling the torso towards that right shin. Forward fold, side stretch, hybrid. Breathe as deeply as you can. And then change it up. So you're holding the outside of the right leg or ankle with the left hand. You're reaching the right fingertips forward, like creep them forward on the fingertips as far as they'll go, right in front of the shoulder. And then we kind of pull on that right leg with the left hand. And that's going to help us twist towards the right, maybe even up towards the ceiling for some of you. Maybe the left elbow bends quite a lot. Depends on our openness. Keep the right fingertips walking forwards. Breathe deep. And then slowly unwind. Bring the hands back to the center. Bring the hands to the hips. And inhale, come up. And step the feet together. Well done. Time check. Great. Okay. Time to move towards the floor. Gabby specifically asked for twists, and twists are brilliant for spinal flexion. So we'll just do one more standing posture with a twist, and then we'll come down to the floor and do some more twists. So we're just going to come straight into the high lunge twist. So we've got the right foot forward, we're stepping the left foot back, and we're bending the right knee, and we're just coming straight into the twist today. So inhale, raise the hands, your right knee's above or behind the ankle. Exhale into a twist, so it could be left hand to the outside of the right thigh, or elbow, palms touch, look behind you. Stay strong in the legs. If you need to bring that back knee down and turn it into crescent moon lunge twist, that's fine. If this is too much, breathe as deeply as you can. This is our last strong standing posture. Inhale, open back out to the high lunge, straighten the right leg, and see if we can just pivot all the way around to the other side. So we're now facing the left foot, we're on the ball of the back foot, we bend the left knee, coming from high lunge straight into our twist, right hand or right elbow to the outside of left thigh. If we're in high lunge, then that back leg's super active, but if we need to bring the knee down, that's fine. Breathe deep. Inhale back to the high lunge. Exhale, step forward, right foot joins left, and we'll come down to the floor. Well done. So just find your way down to a seated position. So we'll do one of my favorite sequences for moving the spine in all its different ways. We often do the sequence. So we'll come to Janushirasana. So we've got the right leg extended and the sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. And basically this little sequence pretty much moves the spine in all the different ways it can move. So we're going to inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, come straight into our forward flexion. So folding over that front shin, dropping the head. Hands come to wherever they come to, the thigh or the shin or the foot. Remember, you can always sit up on a block for this forward fold. And we just take slow, deep breaths. So when we're in the seated postures, it can be a little bit more easy to feel what's going on with the spine here. Very much opening the back edge of the spine. Breathe into the back of the body. Inhale to come up. We're just going to do something slightly different. Just turn to face the space between your left knee and your right knee. So as if you were drawing a line divided. And we're going to come forward again along that line. So halfway between the space between the knees, we come forward. Again, if you've got any issues in your lower back, go super careful here. If it feels inappropriate, skip this one and repeat Janushirasana. Try to keep the spine long. Try not to overarch and over compress the front of the body. So it's more like we're reaching the fingertips and trying to keep the front spine open as well a little bit. Keep the right toes up to the ceiling. Aware of that right leg. Breathe deep. And then slowly walk the hands back in. Turn to face the right leg. Again, just one more forward fold variation. This time, we take the left hand to the outside of the right leg, above the knee, below the knee, or possibly even the foot. And the right hand out like a stabilizer and turn so you can see. So just then, we went that way. Now we're going to go that way. So again, we're looking kind of our chin as if there was a line between the right angle. And we take our chin and our torso, our spine, our front spine in that line as we fold forward again. Again, anyone with lower back sacroiliac issues, just be really mindful, skip and just do the forward fold. And my right hand's out to the side like a stabilizer and just helping me come down in the right line here. Just feeling the different ways the spine can move. Inhale, come up, turn to face the front again. And then on an inhale, raise the hands. Now we're just coming into a normal twist. So take the right hand onto the bent left knee, the left hand behind you. Keep the spine upright, keep the right toes towards the ceiling. Look over your left shoulder to get into the cervical spine, but make sure that that's just the finishing touch. You're not leading with the cervical spine. Left hand can possibly reach for the right thigh, as I'm doing here, or just stay on the floor behind you. And then exhale, unwind, feel the spine unwind, come back to neutral. Take a big inhale. And exhale, twist the other way. So left hand to the outside of the right leg, above the knee, below the knee, or little toe edge of the foot. Right hand behind you, or possibly all the way around for the bent left thigh. Twisting that spine, breathing deep. And then exhale to unwind. Now the back bend, so we take the right hand behind us to the center of the mat, fingertips pointing back, little gap between hand and buttocks, press through the hand, oh sorry, wrong hand, ignore me, take the left hand back, I thought that felt weird, into the middle of the mat, press through the left hand, lift the hips, press the big toes of the right foot down, reach the right fingertips back, open the front of the spine, compress the back of the spine. It's also a little bit of a side stretch. Slowly lower down, spiral your way back to the center. And then last variation, we're going to explore that revolved version again, Parivriti Janeshasana. So keep the right toes up to the ceiling, right hand onto the right shin or thigh, or possibly if you're more open, elbow, palm up holding the big toe. Then we're going to revolve the torso. So it's a side stretch, a forward fold, and a twist. So we look up to the ceiling. We're trying to drop that left shoulder back, open as much of the chest towards the ceiling as possible, and then raise that left hand and reach the left hand forward, but without closing the chest down. If you start to close the chest down to the floor, you've lost the revolving. Come back a little bit, focus more on that revolving and reaching the hand forward. If you're quite open here, you might find the right foot with both hands, and then you can really focus on opening the chest, looking up underneath your left armpit. Okay, to come out, look to the floor. So we close the chest down toward the floor, walk the hands back in, and then lift the head. Okay, take a big breath. When we work with the spine to move it in all its different directions, we really free up our capacity to breathe. Let's swap sides. Take the left leg forward, bring the sole of the right foot to the inner left leg, starting with the forward flexion. So facing that left foot, inhale, raise the hands, exhale, take it forward, hinging at the hips, dropping the head, breathing into the back edge of the spine here. Nice deep spine nourishing breath. And then inhale to come up. Turn to face the space. So ideally there's like a right angle between your right knee and your left knee. A line between that will be a kind of 45-degree. Line your chin and your spine up along that line as you take the hands forward again. Possibly the left toes are going to want to roll out to the left. Keep them facing up towards the ceiling. That your left leg's like your anchor. Come forward. Keep the back edge of the pelvis on the floor. Listen to your body, your back. Repeat Janeshasana if needs be. And then slowly walk the hands back in, facing the front again. Re-establish Janeshasana, the shape of the legs, and then bring your right hand to the outside of the left leg, above or below the knee, maybe the foot. Left hand out as your stabilizer. Again, I'll spin around so you can see. This is our stabilizer. So we inhale, lengthen. As if there's that 45-degree line again, we try to line the spine and the chin along that line as we come forward from here. Keep both feet flexed, both legs active. Listen to your back. It doesn't feel appropriate, especially this one. If there's any injuries in the sacroiliac area, this is perhaps not appropriate for you. Listen to your body's feedback. And then inhale, coming up, untwist back to the center. And then we will do the normal twist. So inhale, raise the hands. Exhale, left hand onto the right thigh or knee, right hand behind you, or maybe all the way around for the left thigh. Left toes up to the ceiling. Finish the twist with the neck, but we're initiating the twist from the navel area, the lower back. Breathe deep. And unwind, come back to the center, take that big breath with the neutral spine. Exhale to take the right hand to the outside of the left leg, maybe the little toe edge of the foot. Left hand behind, or maybe reaching around for the right thigh. Breathe. Nice. One more deep breath. Exhale, unwind all the way back to the center. We get this right hand back, I think. Lean into the right hand, lift the hips, press the left toes down, reach the left hand back. This could just be more of a side stretch, or again, that revolving of the chest up to the ceiling gets it into more of a back bend, which feels great to me, to my spine. And then slowly come down, lowering with control, pressing that right hand down, spiraling back to the front. And then Parabhuti Dhammasana to finish. So left elbow inside the knee, holding big toe, or left hand on left leg, wherever you can find it. And then it's like we turn to the right, and we always try and turn behind us. So we're dropping this right shoulder back. We're opening the chest primarily to the side, or firstly to the side, and then eventually up towards the ceiling. And then we're extending the arm, trying to keep the right arm behind the ear, or moving towards kind of behind us, so that we keep opening this chest. And then maybe if there's more space, we can come forward, we can reach towards that left foot, but not at the expense of closing the chest there. We have to close down, come back, work more with the revolving. Looking up underneath your right armpit, breathe deep, one more breath, strong opening work. To come out, look to the floor. Close the chest down, walk yourself back in. Great, just take a big breath. Feel the space we've just created. Okay, we'll do one more seated spinal focus. So we're going to do Paschimottanasana followed by Pursvottanasana, which is the west side body stretch, east side body stretch. Okay, so each one will open the spine in a completely different way. So just start, this is the seated version of the neutral spine. Find the neutral spine in Dandasana. Inhale, raise the hands. Exhale, forward fold. So this is the classic back of the spine opener. Drop the head. So we kind of close down the front of the body here. Classic Paschimottanasana, compress the front of the spine, open the back of the spine. So it's almost like you're looking back towards your navel. Hands are just wherever they get to, whether that's the thighs, the shins, but we're dropping the chin towards the chest. So it's a bit like child's pose feeling, or when we were seated and we walked the hands forward. We're really breathing into the back of the body here, because that's what's opening. Create space internally with your breath. And feel this stretching the whole of the spine, even up to the point where the spine meets the cranium, the skull, if you're dropping the head. Okay, and then at the end of your next exhale, slowly coming up out of Western body side body stretch, into the eastern. So we come straight into opening the front of the spine. Bring the hands behind us, fingertips forward, draw the tips of the shoulders forward, press through the hands to lift the hips. Possibly we need to bend the knees here, but otherwise legs straight, internally rotating the legs to press the big toes down. And if possible, we drop the head all the way back. We open the front of the spine here, strong front spine opener. Breathe deep, send the fingertips, slowly lower down, using your hands as brakes. Well done. Coming to seated. We'll come down onto our back. I just wanted to do one more seated twist. So I think we will literally, now I know what we'll do. Just for a moment, take the legs wide. I just felt we need one more seated twist. So come into Upavishta. And we'll just do a very simple twist from here. So you can just turn towards your left leg, either frame the thigh with the hands or take the right hand onto the left thigh and the left hand behind you, or even onto the right thigh. Keep the legs alive, toes up to the ceiling. Extend up through the spine, drop down through the pelvis. Again, that wringing out the spine like a flannel or a towel feeling. Exhale, unwind. Inhale, center, neutral spine. Exhale, turn to face your right leg, frame the thigh with your hands, or take left hand onto right thigh, right hand behind you, or even pick up the right hand, find the left thigh. Keep the legs active, toes to the ceiling. Keep a sense of the spine vertical and ascending, nice and long in the spine. Finishing that twist with the neck, looking over your right shoulder. Don't force that though. Feel like you're balanced on the pelvis, at the base of the pelvis. And then your exhale, unwind. Take the hands behind the knees. Bring the knees together. Just make yourself really small. This is a bit of back body opening. If we drop the chin or the forehead to the knees and kind of push the upper back to the wall behind us a little bit. And then while we're here, just open out the front body again. So lift the head. Keep hold of the front of the shins with the left forearm. I'm kind of holding the knees. Take the right hand behind us. Lift up through the spine and try to keep the right hip moving forward. Try to keep the hips level. As we twist to the right, that right hip's going to want to travel backwards. Try to kind of counter that by almost pressing it forward. We just get a gentle twist here, breathing into that right side. Trying not to let the right hip drop too far backwards. Come back to the center, swap your forearms. So it's like you're just wrapping, you're holding the shins up onto the knees with the right arm. Left hand just behind you on the fingertips. Come sideways on. Lift up through the spine, turn to the left. Try not to let the left hip drop backwards. Keep it in line with the right hip. And take some nice deep breaths here, drawing that left shoulder back. Nice and long in the spine. And unwind. Come back to the center. Let's come down onto our backs. So we'll just finish with some spinal awareness work, moving into a back bend and then some nice counter postures for the spine. So we do this from time to time. Skara Valley inspired therapy for the spine. So we bring the hands down either side of the hips and we just start to move the spine with the breath. So as we inhale, we tilt the pelvis up and we start to feel the lower vertebra come off the floor one by one up to about the bra strap area. And then we exhale, slowly place the vertebra down, place the sacrum down and tilt the pelvis backwards, so the other way, to create a strong arch in the lower back. And then we inhale, press the sacrum down, start to peel the sacrum off the floor and the vertebra one by one. Exhale, placing them down, sacrum down, tilt the pelvis the other way, rock forwards, arch the spine. So it's just a rocking back and forth with the pelvis and get into a flow. It's not going to take you as long to do these moves as it takes me to describe them. So just get into your own flow of moving the pelvis up and down with your breath. So the inhale is always going to lift your pelvis off the floor, your hips off the floor. The exhale is going to place it back down, but don't forget that last bit of just arching the lower back and shunting the whole of the torso forward slightly. So what this is doing is many good things, but it's kind of like massaging and opening the thick fascia and all the connections around the sacral area, which gets very stuck. It's good to focus on this part of the spine. It's like a kind of spaghetti junction, a kind of interface of all kinds of different connections. Lots of things kind of meet and cross at the sacrum, so it can get quite blocked. Okay, and then next time you come up on an inhale, we can come higher if you wish. So you can press through the feet, start to use the legs now to lift higher so that you start to come up to the thoracic spine, lifting the shoulders to draw them underneath, maybe interlacing the fingers. And we're going to stay and hold for a good 5 or slow deep breaths, and really again visualize what's your spine doing here. We're compressing the back edge of the spine and we're opening the front edge of the spine. Breathe into that front edge of your spine with each inhale. And slowly lower down if you haven't already, just releasing the bind, placing those vertebrae down one by one, feeling the different parts of the spine, thoracic and lumbar and sacrum. Just move the shoulders back a little bit, feel the whole of the skin of the back just melt into the floor for a moment. Just take a few grounding breaths here. Okay, if you want to do one more back bend, then let's just give ourselves space to do that. If you really just want to be in a neutral spine now and just rest and ground and take constructive rest pose, inner knees touching. Otherwise, heels to buttocks one last time, starting with that kind of peeling the lower back off the floor, all the way up to pretty much the neck spine, almost, but right up to the upper thoracic spine, interlacing fingers. Maybe you want to go into the full wheel at this point and get the super strong opening on the front of the body. Hands under the shoulders, maybe pressing up onto the head or all the way up. And this is a very, very strong opening, compression of the back spine, opening of the front spine. Use your breath wherever you get to here. Breathe deep. And when you're ready to come down, peel, unwind that spine back to the floor, upper spine to lower spine. And again, take the time to get the whole of the skin of the back on the floor. Take the feet forwards, mat distance apart, inner knees touch. Maybe you just take one hand onto the belly, one hand onto the heart, just to encourage, invite this kind of just settling of the nervous system after the back bend. When we work with the spine a lot, we're really stimulating our nervous system in a good way through constantly stimulating the spinal column where so many nerves are housed. So we want to make sure that we settle and calm and restore after spinal work, especially strong work. So let's just close. Have some nice gentle looking at all the different ways the spine moves, but just very gently. So we'll just start with a twist. Well, actually, no, let's just stretch the legs up into the air, take the arms behind us. This is another neutral spine position. So we've just done a strong back bend. So before we come into a strong counter, switch to just find that neutrality again. Breathing into the back here. And then bending the knees, bringing the hands forward. Feeling, allowing your sacrum to come up off the floor. And just feeling this as a counter pose for the lower back. If we were to lift the head up to the knees, it would be a counter pose for the upper back as well. Just taking the time to breathe into the lower back here, find the space again after the compression, calming the nervous system. And then release the feet to the floor. Just press the feet down, lift the hips, scoot them to the left, bring both knees over to the right. So we're back in our spinal twist, but supine now, very gentle. Look over your left shoulder. Maybe just right hand anchors left thigh down. Slow, deep, releasing breaths. Coming back to the center, using your core awareness, pressing the feet down, coming back through central alignment, hips slightly to the right, knees over to the left, look over the right shoulder, feel this spinal twist all the way up your body, the upper body, including the neck. And breathe, nourishing, spinal nourishing breaths. Nice, slow, deep breath. And slowly coming back to the center. Just bring the hips to the center, central alignment. Hug the knees in, bring the head towards the knees, give yourself a tight squeeze. And then we're just going to give ourselves a good few minutes in Shavasana to really just let the spine drop into its neutral curves again. So if you feel that you need to keep the knees bent for the lower back or put a bolster under your knees, keep the knees bent for the first minute or so. But if you can, straighten the legs or just let the legs come into Shavasana, flopping out to the side, arms away from the side. Really check your alignment, check your spine, your head, your neck, your pelvis, feel like this central axis from which the rest of the body can kind of drop away. And just feel that happen, feel the muscles of the body just let go, feel the bones just drop into the support of the floor. And as best as possible, feel the bones of the spine just drop their work. They're always working, always supporting us. Let's see if we can just invite the spine to let go of its work and allow the ground to support us instead. Allow the muscles around the spine to release, to let go. The fascia moving around between, within the bones, the muscles, the nerves to relax, let go. And that's your face. Just feeling into your body. You need longer. Stay still, stay where you are. You're ready to move and close with me. Deepen the breath. Start to move the body. Maybe stretch the body a bit. And gradually return to seated, taking your time. And those closing with me, maybe we just close with gratitude towards our spines. So maybe just bringing the palms together and closing the eyes and just sending immense appreciation, gratitude to this incredible, stable axis, incredible architecture within your body. That does so much for us. And maybe just a dedication to it, to keep it healthy, to keep nourishing our spine so that we can stay healthy for a long, long time. And you feel complete, just opening the eyes. Thank you for practicing this evening. Namaste. See you soon.